Hello everyone, welcome to Achievers Excellence Academy, where learning becomes an exciting journey. So today we are going to discuss First Flight book and the first lesson of 10th class, A Letter to God. So what is the meaning of a letter to God? Here, a letter to God means a letter, somebody is writing a letter to God. So can anybody write a letter to God? So nobody writes a letter to God. And if they write, what address will they write? So we don't know anything. So nobody knows where is the God. So how will they write the letter to God? So in this lesson we are going to learn what is a letter and who is writing the letter and why he is writing a letter to a God. Okay. So now let us see who is the author of A Letter to God. A Letter to God is a story written by J.L. Fuentes. Who is the author of the story? J.L. Fuentes. Gregorio López Fuentes. J.L. Fuentes means it's a Gregorio López Fuentes. A Letter to God is a story of a farmer. Okay, here is a story of a farmer and his extreme faith in God. So here the farmer's extreme faith. Here author is trying to depict the extreme faith in God. Here author is trying to extreme faith, as he has some faith in God. Why the farmer is writing a letter? Here author is going to show how the farmer is writing a letter to God. Writing a letter to God means a farmer is expecting something from a God, and he has 100% faith that whatever he is writing a letter to a God, the God must answer his letter. So here the author tried to depict the faith of poor and simple farmer. So now we are going to read what is the story. So before you read the story, we'll see that they say faith can move mountains. So here faith can move mountains. It is like an idiom here. Faith means whatever faith are there, whatever faith, trust can move mountains. But what should we put our faith in? But what should we put our faith in? And what things we should put the faith in? This is a question this story delicately poses. So Lencho is a farmer. So now we stepped into the story. So Lencho is a farmer who writes a letter to God when his crops are ruined. When his crops are ruined. Here ruined means completely destroyed. Where the crops are ruined. Crops completely destroyed. So here Lencho is a farmer. Lencho is a main character of the story here. Okay. We are going to see a story where the Lencho is a main character. So he is a farmer who writes a letter to God when his crops get destroyed, when his crops gets ruined, when everything is finished. So he starts writing a letter asking for 100 pesos. So he starts writing a letter for asking for 100 pesos as is all crops destroyed, ruined. So now he is writing a letter to God asking 100 pesos. Does Lencho's letter reach God? So here's a question. So does Lencho's letter reach God? Does it reaches the God? So what address the Lencho writes there? And whatever if he writes there, does it reach the God? Does God send him the money? And if the letter is reached there, if the letter is reached to God, does the God will send the money? So think what your answers to these questions would be and guess how the story continues before we begin it. So now we are going to learn why and how did the Lencho's crops got ruined and why he thought to write a letter to God. We are going to step in. So the house, the only in the entire valley, sat on the crest of a low hill. So the house, where's the house? So these are valleys. These are mountains, hills, valleys. So here, which is lower hill, which is lower hill in the valley, there is a house. Here is a house. So, sat on the crest. What is the meaning of crest? This part is called a crest. The topmost part of the hill is called crest. Top of the hill. What is the meaning of crest? Crest is top of the hill. So, in these valleys, which is a lower valley, which is a lower mountain, lower hill, on the top, on the crest, there is a house. So, there is a house. From the height, from this height, one could see the river flowing and the field of ripe corn dotted with the flowers and always promised a good harvest. So, from here, one could see the rivers which flows, one could see everything, whatever the rivers are flowing from the top of the mountain. They can see the corn fields are there and they can see the flowers on that. So, and they always promise to give a good harvest. So, this land is always promised, you feel that they will give a good harvest in the sense good crops. The only thing the earth needed was downpour or at least a shower. So, the earth means here he is talking about the land, the farm, the field. Okay, so the only thing the field needed is the downpour. Downpour means a rain, downpour of rain, heavy rain it needed. Heavy rain or a shower. Okay, at least a shower. Shower is also rain here. Throughout the morning, Lencho, who knew the fields intimately, so throughout the morning, who knew the Lencho intimately. Here, intimately means knowing it has a complete detail on the land. Intimately means the thing which has completely, we know about the crops, about the land, when to crop the seeds or when to grow the seeds, when to water the plants, everything. He has a complete knowledge of land. So his fields intimately had gone nothing else but see the sky towards the northeast. He started looking at the northeast, and now we are really going to get some water, woman. So he's telling that now we are going to, he's just continuously looking at the sky in the northeast, and he's just predicting, or you may say he's wishing the rain should come. So he's telling to his wife, so now we are really going to get rain, woman. Then the woman was preparing a supper. So it's a evening time. Whatever we prepare in a evening time, whatever evening what we eat is called a supper. So she is preparing, and she also replied, he is talking to that woman, he is talking to his wife, and she replied that yes, God willing. Yes, really God is going to help us. God willing means yes, definitely the God will do it for us. So the older boys were working in the field while the smaller ones are playing near the house. So he has children. So who are the older boys, who are the big older boys, they are working in the farm, and the little one and the small ones are playing near the house. Until the woman called them all. So until the woman called them all, they were playing. Some are playing and some are doing work in the fields. Then, come dinner, she said. Who asked? Come for supper. She said, it was during meal that. So, just as Lencho had predicted, big drops and rain began to fall. So just now he was looking at the northeast side, and he was just predicting that now the rain is going to come. As he predicted, within a minute the big drops began to fall. In the northeast, huge mountains of clouds coming could be see approaching. So here we can see now big mountain of clouds. Big mountains of clouds means a very big clouds like mountain. Big clouds like mountain. They are coming. Approaching is they are coming. The air was fresh and sweet. So the air was fresh and sweet. So whenever the rain falls, how the sweet, how cool, how fresh we feel, and how sweet the smell comes. So it's very nice. The weather is very nice. The raindrops began to fall. The man went out for one other reason than to have a pleasure of feeling the rain on his body. So the man went out. Suddenly when the raindrops started falling, suddenly got up and he went out to feel the rain on his body, to feel the raindrops on his body. So no, not for any other reason, not for fun, not for nothing. He just went to feel the rain outside. So they aren't. So what he said then, as he was enjoying the rain, and when he returned, he enjoyed the rain. When he returned inside, they said, they aren't raindrops falling in from the sky. They are new coins. So what he said, as he got wet and enjoyed the rain on his body, he came inside and he exclaimed that they are not raindrops, they are new coins. The big drops are 10 cent pieces and the little ones are 5 cent pieces. So he compared the big raindrops into a 10 rupees 10 cent pieces and the small drops of 5. So with a satisfied expression, now he is very happy that the rain began to fall down. Now all his crops must get enough water to grow and he can get a good harvest. So he is very happy and he is satisfied. So he enjoyed the rain and he is feeling that it's not a rain. They are new coins. The big drops are 10 pieces, 10 cent pieces, and the small ones are 5 cent pieces. Okay, so with a satisfied expression, he regarded the field of ripe corn with his flowers. So draped in a curtain of rain. So what he said, it just draped in a curtain of rain. So soon, when the rain started falling down, soon it covered the complete area of cornfield. So how he compared, he draped the curtain of rain, but suddenly a strong wind began to blow, and along with the rain, a very huge hailstones began to fall. So along with the rain, a huge hailstones. Hailstone means ice. Ice we say as ole, ice. Ice pieces began to fall. So this truly did resemble new silver coins. Now he started saying the rise as new silver coins. So the boys, exposing themselves to the rain, ran out to collect the frozen pearls. So one more beautiful comparison here. Frozen pearls. Frozen, the ice which is frozen and it shines like a pearl. So in this line they are saying they are frozen pearls. So all the boys who were sitting inside, as the hailstones started falling, everybody got up and went outside to collect the hailstones. As we also do the same. Whenever the hailstone fall, we all just gather it, we play with it, we hold it and we feel the melting, or else we just throw some on some others. Friends, we enjoy with the hailstones also. How? So in the same way, the farmer children also, they went outside, they experienced the rain, they exposed outside in the rain, and they started collecting the coins, collecting the frozen pearls. So it's really getting bad now, exclaimed the man. It's really getting bad now. The hailstones were falling down continuously. I hope it passes quickly. So the farmer is saying that I hope it passes quickly. So he want that just the hailstone should go away. Now it is getting more harder. Now the hailstones are getting more harder, and if they continue like this, then completely the crops will be ruined or destroyed. So now he don't want to fall the hailstones, he just want to pass them quickly. But it did not pass quickly. For an hour the hail rained on the house. So for an hour the hail rained on the house, the garden, on the house, the garden, the hillside, the cornfield, on the whole valley. It began to fall for 1 hour. So the field was white as if covered with salt. So another, again a beautiful comparison here. The field was completely white. Everywhere the hailstones were there. Everywhere the hailstones. So what he compared, the field is completely white as if it covered with salt. So salt is also white color. So how the writer compared here, the field is covered with a white color as if it is a snow, as if it is covered with a salt. Not a leaf remained on trees. So this, what the farmer is saying, not a leaf remained on trees. All the leaves fell down with the force of the hailstones. The corn was totally destroyed. The flowers were gone from the plants. So Lencho's soul was filled with sadness. Now everything is finished there. So everything is finished. All the leaves fall down from the tree. All the flowers had gone. All the totally complete field, the cornfield has destroyed. And now he went to an extreme sadness. Extreme is, he is just feeling very, very much sadness. He can't express now because everything got destroyed. So when the storm had passed, he stood in the middle of the field and said one of his sons. So everything would have passed, when the rain is finished or rain stopped, he went there, he stood in the middle of the field and just is feeling very badly, he's very sad. He's saying that a plague of locusts would have left more than this. A plague of locusts. A plague of locusts. Here locust is an insect. Locust is an insect here. So when the locusts come, when they started damaging or destroying or eating the plants, or they try to destroy the plants, they would have left us some 1 or 2 leaves. But this rain did not leave anything, but hail had left nothing. This year we will have no corn. So everything is destroyed. So how will they have the corn, and how will they? That night was a sorrowful one. All our work for nothing. So as we worked for months to just for the corn, everything is wasted. Our hard work, our whatever the hard work we gave in, and what our expectations, everything is destroyed. So there's no one who can help us. So as that is a single house on the hill, on the crest they live on, so there is nobody to help them. We will all go hungry this year. So he said that we all will go hungry this year. So as there is no corn, there is no harvest, so what he would sell and from where he would get money, and how the livelihood is going on. So this year they are just going off hungry. But in the hearts of all who have lived in the solitary house in the middle of the valley, but in the hearts of all the family members who lived in the solitary house. Solitary means a single house. Solitary means a single house. Everybody lived in the same house. In the middle of the valley, nobody is there. There was a single hope from the God. So still the crops were destroyed, everything was finished, but they have a single hope, hope that the God will help them. Don't be upset, even though this seems like a total loss. So what the farmer is, he's just consoling his family members that don't be upset, everything will be all right. So he is the head of the family, so he has to control and he has to console all the family members, as he is the head of the family, and he is just saying don't be upset. Even though this seems like a total loss, remember, no one dies of hunger. So here is a beautiful idiom. We say that nobody dies of hunger. Although the night, so That's why they say that no one dies of hunger. Although the night, Lencho thought only of his one hope. So all the night he was just thinking of his one hope. Who is the one hope? He has a hope from his God. So whose eyes has been instructed, see everything, even what is deep and one's conscience. So whose eyes, it means whose eyes has been instructed. Whose eyes instruct us, God knows everything and see everything, even what the God knows. He knows everything what we are thinking from the inside, not only from the outside facial expressions. So he knows how we are thinking from the inside, whether it is bad, whether it is correct or wrong, right or wrong, whatever it is, God knows everything. Here is saying that. So he knows one's conscience. So Lencho was an ox of a man. So he is a ox of a man. So again they compared Lencho to an ox, working like an animal in the fields. Working like an animal in the fields means working very hardly. So he worked like an animal means very hard working he is. He is working very hard in the fields, but still he know how to write. So if if he is working like an animal, he is a farmer, but still he know how to write. The following Sunday at a daybreak, following Sunday means whatever the next day is coming, it's a Sunday, following Sunday at a daybreak. So whatever he used to get some daybreak, he used to just rest under the tree of shade. So shade of a tree. Then he started writing a letter which he himself would carry to town and place in the mail. So which he would carry himself, because there is nobody to carry. He would be carry after writing the letter. He will carry and he will put in the mailbox. It was nothing less than a letter to God. Now he started writing a letter to God. So let us see what he wrote in the letter. God, he started the writing, God, if you don't help me, my family and I will go hungry this year. So he started, if you don't help me, me and my family is going to be hungry this year. I need 100 pesos in order to sow field again and to live. The crop comes because the hailstone. So what he wrote, straightly he asked 100 pesos. 100 pesos. He asked 100 pesos. He asked 100. He is asking money from the God. As his everything, all the crops were destroyed. So all the crops were ruined. So he wrote a letter to God in order to ask 100 pesos. And why he asked 100 pesos? He would sow the seeds again, to grow the crops again, and by the time the crop grows, by that time it will take some time to grow the crops. By that time, the living of their family, for the living of their family also. So he wrote to God. At the last, he wrote to God. And on the envelope he wrote to God, and he just put the letter inside, and still troubled went to town. So now he went to town. At the post office, he placed a stamp on the letter and dropped into a mailbox. So he went into the post office, he took the stamp from there, he just stamped the stamp and he put the letter in the mailbox. One of the employees who was a postman and also helped at the post office. So one of the man, there was a post office, one of the employee, there was a post office, and he was the person who also helps the other people at the post office. So went to his boss laughing heartily and showed him the letter to God. So that is very casual, that nobody writes a letter to God, right? Nobody writes a letter to God. So one would really laugh when they see if they are writing a letter to God. that is a very casual thing. So the postman also started laughing loudly and heartfully. He just took the letter and he went, and he had so what he did, never in his career as a postman had he known that address. So never a postman or nobody written like this, which is addressed to God. The postman, the postmaster, a fat, amiable, he was friendly and pleasant. So amiable. Amiable means he is a friendly and a good person, pleasant fellow. Amiable fellow also broke out laughing, so he also started broke out laughing means he also started laughing when he saw the letter, a letter to God. So but almost immediately he turned up serious and tapping the letter on the desk. So almost again immediately he turned seriously and he just tapped on the letter on the desk. What faith! I wish I had a faith of a man who wrote the letter starting up a correspondence with God. What faith he has, what trust he has. I wish I could have that much trust. How the farmer has a trust, how the man is trusting the God. He is just starting up with the correspondence of God. It means how much trust the man he has that he wrote a letter. So in order not to shake the writer's faith in God, so he opened the letter, he read everything, what is the problem, what had happened to the Lencho or the farmer. Then what he did, the postmaster, in order to not shake the faith of the man, faith of the writer who is writing a letter there, Lencho. So in order to not shake, it means that much he is trusting or that much he is having faith, but that faith should not fail, or he should not be disappointed with that letter. So what he decided, the postmaster came up with an idea, answer the letter. So now he is going to answer the letter. Answer the letter means, so what did the Lencho write in the letter? He asked 100 pesos. So answer the letter means he will answer the way that he should give the money. But when he opened it, it was evident that to answer it, he needed something more than goodwill. So to answer the letter, what he needed, something more than a goodwill, ink and paper. So more than ink and paper, he needs something more to be there. But he stuck to his resolution. He asked, as he decided he is going to answer the letter, as he decided to answer the letter, and he wants to just give some money or whatever he decided, but he don't have nothing, he has nothing, he just has a pen and paper. But still, with his resolution, he asked for money from his employees. All over the work in the post office, the employees were there. He asked money from his employees. He gathered all the money and he himself gave a part of his salary. He also added a part of his salary, and several friends of his were obliged to give something for an act of charity. Charity is a help to a poor people. So all the employees who were there in the office, everybody had contributed and gave some part of their salaries, and the money was collected. So it was impossible for him to gather together 100 pesos. So for him, the postmaster also, it was very impossible to gather 100 pesos together. So he was able to send a farmer only a little more than half. More than half. Half is 50, more than half it would be 60 or 70 pesos. 60 or 70 pesos. They just so he put the money in the envelope addressed to Lencho, and with it the letter containing only a single word as a signature, God. So what he did, he just kept money in the envelope and he just signed as a God. As a God. He just signature, he signed there with a single word, God. He wrote nothing there. He just put 70 pesos in that and write. More than half he put in it and write. So the following Sunday, so this Sunday the Lencho posted a letter. The following Sunday, the next Sunday, coming Sunday, Lencho came a little bit earlier than usual to ask if there is a letter for him. So he came little bit earlier. It means whatever the timings of the post office are there, whether it is 10 or 9, he came little bit earlier to take, because he is eagerly waiting, as is completely crops were destroyed, everything. He was just at extreme sadness. He could not wait, and he just came very earlier, little bit earlier, and to take a letter. So it was a postman himself who handed the letter to him, while the postmaster, experiencing the contentment of a man who has performed a good deed, looked from his office. So here the postman was standing there. He handed himself the letter to a farmer. So Lencho came. The postman was standing here. He himself handed the letter to a farmer. So what, and everything, whatever is going on here, the letter, the postman is giving the letter, the Lencho is taking the letter, is opening everything, the commitment, this scene. Who is seeing the scene? The postmaster, who has written a letter or who has sent the money to him. Everything he is watching from his office. Lencho showed not a slightest surprise on sending a money. Such was his confidence. So he did not show any surprising way that so it is true that when we write a letter to God, there is no reply. God is not going to write a letter back for us. So if we get a letter, how would we react? We react, is it really a God wrote a letter to me, or he sent money to me? But he was not even slightly surprised, because he has that much confidence on God. But he became angry when he counted the money. So when he counted the money, he became angry. God could not have made a mistake. So he said that God can't make a mistake, because he is a God. He could not make a mistake. I clearly wrote 100 pesos in that. Why would he send this 30 pesos less? He could not make a mistake, nor he could denied. It means if he gives 70 and later 30, no, he is not denying even. So Lencho, what he had requested, so he could not even deny what he is requested, and he just immediately, Lencho went up to the window, asked a paper and a ink. On the public writing table, he started to write. So immediately he went into the office. He asked a paper and ink, and on the public desk, everybody who keeps there and everybody who places their paper and write on the public table, he started writing. What is writing again? With much wrinkling of his eyebrow, as he is very in tension, you can say, or he is very angry. So he just wrinkled his eyebrows like this. He wrinkled eyebrow and caused by effort to make to express his ideas. Now he is starting very seriously, he is writing a letter. When he finished, he went to a window to buy a stamp, which he licked and affixed it to it. Affixed it to envelope with a blow of a fist. The moment, so what he did, he wrote a letter, everything, and he just folded the paper. He put in the envelope, and he put the stamp on it, and he just blow off it fist. It means he left like this. He put in the mailbox, blow of the fist. So the moment the letter fell into the mailbox, the postmaster went and opened it. And as soon as the letter fell into that, the postmaster ran and opened it. He opened the letter, and now he is reading. It said, the letter is saying, God, of the money that I asked for, of the money, it means of the money, how much money I asked you, only 70 pesos reached me. of the money, it means of the money, 100 of the money I have asked you, only 70 pesos reached me. Only 70 pesos reached me. Send me the rest since I need it very much. So send me he is asking again the remaining 30 pesos. So Lencho asked 100 pesos, he got only 70 pesos. So he wrote a letter for another 30 pesos. And he is writing a letter for the another 30 pesos. He requested that I need all the, but don't send it to me through the mail because the post office employees are a bunch of crooks. So here what the man is saying, whatever the remaining 30 pesos are there, whatever the remaining 30 pesos, you have just sent me 70 pesos out of 100 pesos. The remaining 30 pesos you have to send, I need it very much, but don't send it through a mail because the employees in the post office are bunch of crooks. Bunch of crooks means he is thinking that they might have took out the money, or they are thieves. So don't send the money through the mail. So down at last he wrote Lencho. So this was a lesson, 10th class lesson, a letter to God, the first lesson, a letter to God. So I'll come up with the next video where we discuss the questions and the assessment of the lesson. So till that, bye bye. Thank you.